Ooh, why the black bars? Not the right aspect ratio, huh? Oh, there we go, because it's 16/10th. Should be 16/9th. Yeah, there we go. What happened? Something got better, something got worse. Yeah. Should we announce to social media? Maybe. Okay, so let's wait a few minutes more. Let's wait for the countdown to end, and then we can start working. So the plan for today is, well, literally what I brought here. Just updating Zig Redis, Zig OK Redis to write a gate. Hello, Scott. Life is good. Life is good. I have energy to spend updating an old project of mine that I haven't touched in a while. I really haven't touched it in a while. Wait, yeah. So this is what we're gonna work on today. This bad boy. I should probably go get something to drink. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Uh, yeah, we need to clone this. I don't even know if I have a copy of it anymore. Let's see. Okay, I have a bunch of stuff open. You know what? Let's reset. Oh no, it's asking me that for every window. Oh no, every tab. Oh no. Terrible mistake. Okay. Just to make a new one, open it to the side, close all of them. Oh, now it's asking for each one of them again. Okay. Fresh start. I think this should be bigger. It should be like this. We can also do, yeah, I think it's fine. Okay. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Zig, okay, Redis. I don't even have it. Do I have it in documents? Oh, I do have it there. But that's old and obsolete. I could have moved it, but we're gonna reclone anyway. Also, I don't think I have any local work that wasn't committed, so should be good. So, which Zig do I have? 015. Let's see if we can update master. If I have anything more recent. Actually, we should totally have something more recent. Yeah, 1149. There we go. There we go. Okay. Zig build test. Brap. Okay, we need to start with the build script. Needs to be updated. Actually, let's start with the zone file. What's in our zone file? We don't have a version. We don't have anything. We do have a fingerprint. Minimum Zig version, we need to get that to 15.0. It's actually something different. So I guess let's put this here. That is indeed it. To be honest, license also. What I'm not sure that license should be in there, like in this list. In all honesty, but fine. Okay. Oh, there's a bunch of root source files, huh? So this is all well and good. It's just the unit test. Okay, it's just silly. Will this also work with Valkey? Yes, it will. They have the exact same protocol. It's called RESP 3. And they're never gonna break it. You know, I can't say this for sure 100%, but I feel like 99% confident that they are never going to break the wire protocol. That would be a very silly move. That said, you know what? Redis, the company, to me lately, to me, it feels like the Redis has been outplayed by the clouds in so many ways. So who knows? Maybe they will be insane enough to attempt something like this. That would be if they do that, I would say that's probably going to be their last bad move. They're not going to be able to make any bad move after that one because that's going to be their last one. That's my suspicion, but they won't. So this client is good for every Redis, for every fork or Redis. So there we go. Anything else? Docs. Oh, these might have changed. Here we have an executable with a root source file. This is the example. So we want to do this as well. And I think we should be good. Run example. Okay, run the example. Okay, zig1. Sorry, no, it's just zig build test. Now expect more failures like in the actual code. No step name test. What? I had tests. Lib unit tests. Other an artifact depend on this. Oh, we were doing this only to generate docs. Well, I mean, seriously? How did I never run actual tests on this library? I mean, I have tests and I did run tests, so that has happened. What surprises me is that I don't have a dedicated command for it. I guess at the time I was just invoking tests in a directly with the zig test. Man, silly me. Holy cow. So docs, docs. I mean, sure. But then we should also have like tests. Before we do depend on, we need to do add test. Oh, my camera is turning off. Interesting. Okay. I wanted to do this stream. I wanted to test also this stuff in the stream, so I still have this issue. God damn it. What do you do once you have a test? Oh, it's a compile. So depend on ampersand b dot run artifact tests, and we depend on that step. Does that sound good? There's no run artifact in build. Oh, add run artifact. There you go. So we seem to have another error. Okay, delightful. So we error out in build. Yeah, but that's good because that's the root module of a compiled step must be created with a known target field. There we go. So we need to take this, move it here. This guy can inherit from that, I think. No, this guy also needs it. Okay, so we repeat it. There you go. Now you're both happy. Should be good now. Let's see. Next problem. I think we're good, and now it's straight up, you know, compile errors that we need to fix, update everything to new Zig. Memory fraction expected one argument found 0. Yeah, there we go. Everything starts from the reader. Okay, so I have committed docs in here. Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, that works, I guess. We have an example. This is nice because this is what allows us to also test that everything works, I guess, past what unit tests test for. So address is this guy. Then we make a TCP connection. And then we give the connection to our client. That also is an interesting design decision that I made in the past. In any case, what does TCP connect to address give us? A stream. What does the stream contain? A handle. Right. But now making a reader out of it is more complicated. So let's see. How do we make this work? Now both reading and writing needs a buffer. We could hard code this buffer. Well, let's see what we were doing. So let's take a look at the current code right now. So our struct is defined as we have a connection. We have a reader instance. Can be no buffering or fixed. No buffering or fixed. Yes, I'm updating everything to the new IO interface. Then we have a read buffer and a write buffer. And these guys can be either no buffering or fixed using a buffer reader. Okay, this whole interface now has to change, I would say, and we don't want to be generic over buffering anymore. We had to in the past, but now we don't have to. There's also a second argument, logging, that we were generic about. Wait, what? Since when? No logging, logging. Sure, but then it's not used anymore. Who did this? Who did this? I don't think this was added by me. I think this is actually might. I don't know. But well, if we're not using it, let's take it out. And honestly, now Redis client doesn't have to be generic at all anymore. So we take this completely out. We take this out as well. This doesn't exist anymore. This also doesn't exist anymore. This is not in a struct definition. This is now a top level struct. We can take out this. Now let's see. SCDO is async. That also doesn't exist anymore. Buffering, we don't care about anymore. This out stuff also doesn't convince me. This was added by APR that got merged, but I am definitely not convinced that we want out in here at all. This is doing out before hello 3. This is doing out before hello 3. Nah, I don't think that you need to do out before hello 3. I need to double check this. But so if doing out is necessary, if it is necessary to do out before hello 3, then fine. Then this PR is fine, and we need to have authentication as an init option. Otherwise, absolutely not necessary at all. So yeah, these things also reader writer to do. Okay, let's see how this works. We're gonna have to relook into this stuff again. Okay, we also need locks, sure. That's also something we need to worry about. It's indeed, this is like setting stuff up. Let's remove this stuff. Read lock, write lock, event lock. Yeah, let's take that out as well. Started learning Zig today. Is there a roadmap you suggest? I'm more interested in learning the environment in general. Syntax is something I can pick up from the docs. Okay. If you're not interested in having something that supports you learning the syntax, you know, in well, other than the docs, then the language reference more specifically, then you probably want to avoid Ziglings. Ziglings is very nice. It has a very smooth learning curve, but it does exactly what you don't want to do. So skip Ziglings. There's this website called zig.guide, which is, I would say, mostly use case oriented. So it has a section where it teaches you the language. Again, you're not interested particularly, so you can skip that one. There's a section where it tells you about the standard library. So it gives you like an overview of the most important things in the standard library that might be useful. It explains the build system a bit, explains working with C, apparently. That I didn't know that it also had this. Cool. And then there's also a section on async, but yeah, that one is obsolete. So where's the use cases stuff? I think it's in standard library, or no? So I remember that there was at some point something like, here's how you open a file. Oh no, I guess it's the standard library part. Okay, so what you want is the standard library part, because it tells you also like, okay, here's how you open a file, or like you create a file. Here's how you read from it. Here's how you do formatted printing. Here's how you do JSON parsing. So use case oriented seems good. Seems probably good. What do you do after this? My recommendation is threefold. One, join a Zig community where you can interact with other people that are using Zig. There's a Discord one. There's actually more than one Discord community. There's a channel on IRC, on Libera. There's a Zulip, probably more than one Zulip. There's a forum, Zigit. So if you go to zigit.dev, there's also a forum if that's a format that you like. And if you don't like it, then don't go there. My recommendation in the negative is to avoid Reddit. So there's a reddit.com/r/zig subreddit. Don't go there. It's a bit of a wasteland. I would not recommend Reddit. Then after this, so this is one of my 3 recommendations. Join a community. Number 2, read source code. Read source code of existing projects. Not every project will be as good as any other projects. There are bad Zig projects out there where you read the source code and you don't learn the right patterns. So I would say the majority of projects are fine. Some are really good. A tiny fraction is really bad. As long as you avoid the really bad stuff, you're gonna be fine. Although obviously, you know, the really good stuff is what you would like to focus on ideally. And you know, you will be able to tell those apart also by interacting in a Zig community. You can even ask people for opinion on that stuff. Third and last recommendation, come up with a small project that you find interesting that you can try and do. Maybe something that is not too ambitious, but also that you never attempted before. For example, have you ever made a TUI application? If you haven't, maybe make one. For example, Borg is a TUI application. And if you've never done it, it's nice to see what it takes to build a TUI application. You've never done anything with audio, figure out how to get a library. Well, actually, you don't need necessarily a library, but as a starting point, it's probably not a bad idea to find a library that allows you to grab, input from your microphone and then send it out to your speakers so that you can have like an echo program, which is like I don't know, to me it's like real-time audio 101. So that's another example. There's more. There's a book which I did a live stream on called OS in 1,000 lines. So operating system in 1,000 lines. So it basically guides you towards creating a bare bones kernel with user mode, process switching, in 1,000 lines of code, as the title promises. This book gives you English, gives you C source code. Well, it also gives you some assembly, but never mind that. Let's see, hello world. It gives you C source code examples, and obviously that's not Zig, but you can translate that. So if you, why do I write? I type Christos and then it gives me Zine. Man, I should have double checked. So if you look at my GitHub account, there's a thing called Christos, a ChristOS, I guess. It's just a joke because it's I'm gonna say, it's not a real attempt at making an OS. But this is my experience going through that book and then doing it with Zig. And you can follow along and do the same. There's also, crafting interpreters. Ever made an interpreter? Make one. There's also ray tracing in a weekend. So yeah, do ray tracing in a weekend and see if you can do ray tracing with that. So I would say this is the stuff. Okay, back to the main program. So we need to verify that auth needs to go before hello 3. That's part of our to-dos. Let's see. I'm gonna maybe write it down. We need to double check this. Well, and then we need to make everything else work. So let's also do that. What do you think is the current best way to build desktop applications in Zig that's cross-platform? I've had around, but it looks like not everything supports Linux and One macOS and Windows. Llama, I need clarification from you. When you say desktop, do you imply GUI? Because technically a CLI application is a desktop application. Are you implying a GUI application? So like a, window, visual interface, buttons, scroll bars, that kind of stuff? Because obviously that changes the answer significantly. Okay, an existing debugging tool from an Electron app to Zig. So that does imply, that does indeed imply GUI stuff. So here's my recommendation. You're gonna do GUI, check out DVUI. That would be my first recommendation. It's not the only one. There's also other alternatives, but I think your starting point should be check out DVUI. DVUI is pretty cross-platform. It even does web, as in like WebGL. So like this is the same application that now is like, by the way, like this text, this is not rendered by the browser. This is rendered by DVUI entirely. So like it's a big GL window that contains everything. Like you can see it, but I'm right clicking and there's no context menu because it's, it's not the DOM. You're not looking at the DOM. Well, I mean, technically yes, because this thing is in the DOM, but it covers everything. So there's no like HTML elements other than this guy. And yeah, so this would be my suggestion. Start with this. Obviously, depending on what your application want to do. For example, you said a debugging tool. What does your debugging tool do? If it's something, if it's an actual debugger, then yeah, that's not gonna be portable. So you will need to write code specific to each OS and each CPU architecture. But that is an extreme. If instead your tool is just like a visualization tool for a data format that is related to debugging, then probably DVUI is all you need. But then if you need to do other stuff, like I was mentioning, I'm about to make an example that doesn't make sense for a debugging tool, but just for the sake of it. Let's say that your debugging tool needs to have the video conferencing support. Then of course that requires you to get access to audio streams, etc. And that is complicated. And then so DVUI alone is not going to be enough. Now you need something for audio as well. So hopefully you get the idea. So close. Perfect. Then DVUI should be all you need. Okay, I'm not sure a connection is what we want at this point. Do we want a connection? You know what? Let's continue with the idea that we do want a connection. Let's see where that takes us. Although it might not take us in nice places, but for now, let's do this. Does this guy.read give me a good reader? Oh, that smells like a good reader. And then we can do .interface on it. The problem is that this reader and this writer, they're stateful. So we gotta keep a handle on them. So now we have a real reason to keep around a reader. So reader equals con.reader, which wants a buffer. Now, where does this buffer go? So previously, also we had a weirdo init function that required self, because we had we like embedded the buffer into ourselves. But now we need to ask for it. By the way, you know what? Let's work under the assumption that this out stuff is not needed for now, and let's have or you know what? Let's add to init options also reader and writer buffers. So okay, so you pass them in. So we have them also in our main type, but then we also need to have reader, writer. And this reader is going to be, it's not an IO.reader, it's a more specific reader. It's going to be a net.stream.reader and a writer, net.stream.writer. Oops. Okay. Then here we can do options.reader buffer, and then self.writer equals connection.read.writer options.writer buffer. Yeah, I know the camera is not working well. I think that to fix it, I need to reboot my computer. So I want to make some progress. Then maybe I will consider, I don't know, rebooting my computer some problem at some point. But right now I can't do anything about it. Sorry. Well, unless, except the very uh, interrupting thing of rebooting the entire computer. But I want to do it at some point. So stay strong. I know that I will briefly disappear, but I trust everybody in chat to understand object permanence. And even though you won't see me for a brief moment, please do not despair. I will be back a few frames later. Hello, C3PO. How am I doing? Not bad, not bad. I am updating my Redis client. Also, this file needs to be renamed into uppercase client. I think that once. Wait a second. Are these guys keeping pointers to themselves or anything weirdo like that? They're not, right? They don't need to be pinned. Oh, they might need to be pinned. Well, shit. You know what? Let's assume that this is not a problem for now. Okay, let's assume that this is not a problem. Self.send. God damn it, this. Okay, let's turn off the out stuff for now. Let's see. I've been starting to mess around with Zine for a static website, and I'm planning to make it. That I'm planning to make. Love it. Oh, thank you. Nice that you're having a good experience. What's the website about? Is it a personal blog? Something more fancy than that? There's so much stuff that I need to add to Zine. But yeah, I will get there. I promise. It just takes some time. Okay, so self.send. So we're already using. Oh, okay, so we do want to make a client because we do want to call send on it. That makes sense. So I guess we can do that directly. So var client. Oh, does it need to be mutable then? Because we keep these bad boys in here? I think it does. That does indeed mean that, doesn't it? Okay. Ooh, actually, do we need these? I think we don't need these guys. Oh, I think that we hold on to the reader writer and that's enough. That looks good. Okay, so then we do client.send, client.broken, blah, 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 and then return client. Okay, so we should have fixed the... Oh, and what is client? Indeed. Or what is love? What is client? This is client. Oh, you know what? We can do this, I guess. Self becomes client. So we update all references also elsewhere. We can also go to functions and do some of that, like self becomes client. Self becomes client. Self becomes client. Self becomes client. We're getting there. I'm actually helping my girlfriend to build her personal blog. Nice. Nice. Makes sense. Well, if you encounter any kind of issue, my recommendation is join the Software You Can Love Discord server where you can ping me about stuff that's broken. I mean, you can obviously also open an issue on GitHub that also works. But, If, for example, you wonder, how do I do this? Like, I would like to achieve this effect. How do you do that? There's a channel dedicated for that. There's also other users that can help you, not just me, but you know, worst case, at the very least, I should know what you should be doing in theory. Okay, so we're missing con. Yeah, I mean, do we even care about con at that point? Maybe we do. Maybe we don't. Maybe we don't. But for now, let's say that we do. There we go. Let's see. I'm actually trying to upgrade my CLI programs to master, and I'm struggling to how to print to std out. That's how you do it. You do out is io dot file, you know, std.io dot file dot std out, and that gives you a handle to std out, and that's a file. And on that file, you can do, well, you know what? Let's take a look. What can you do on a file? What can you do on a file? Is stdy seek by, get pause, mode. None of these things that you can do for now are particularly interesting for us. And I understand that you want to print, so I'll get to print in a second. But you can call read, you can call read all, but you know, these are like a little bit low level because they return you how many bytes were read and written and stuff. So you probably don't want to use these guys. There's write file all, which is, I think, oh, but it's deprecated, so never mind, this guy is not going to be there for a while. So the answer is pretty much there's nothing you should do on the file directly, and all you immediately want to grab a writer from it. So you grab a writer, and grabbing a writer forces you to make a decision about buffering. Previously, you achieved buffering by layering readers and writers on top of one another. This is not done like this anymore. Now, you try to grab the writer interface, or rather, sorry, this is not yet the writer interface. This is a writer implementation. And so, wait, is it actually? Yeah, because it's a file-specific writer, right? Yeah, this is the file-specific writer. So it's a specific writer to file. So, but he wants you to decide something about buffering. Now, you don't have to do it. You can pass an empty, you know, this is like a shortcut for an empty slice. So you can pass an empty slice, there's no buffering, and, you know, life goes on. Which is what you basically were doing by accessing std out without wrapping a buffered writer on top. But you know what? Buffering is really good. You should buffer your stuff. It does make a gigantic performance difference. So go make a buffer. A kilobyte is probably fine. 4 kilobytes is fine. Something significantly bigger than that, probably not needed. Something much smaller than that, probably suboptimal. I don't have like the definitive answer of what the buffer size should be, but like 124 is for something that, you know, doesn't have to be critically performant but shouldn't suck. That seems good. So you do %buff, and now you have a file writer that needs to be mutable also. So file writer, and that's your file writer. Now, does this guy give you print? Let's go take a look. Does the writer give us print? What does it have? It has init mode, but we don't care about those because like we initted it by grabbing it through the file. Like the file initted the writer for us. So let's keep that stuff. It has drain. It has send file, and it has seek to and end. So yeah, none of these functions should really be something that you use yourself directly. So again, you don't do anything on file writer directly other than grabbing the IO interface for writer. So this is a writer specific to file. It's a writer. Sorry, yeah, it's a writer implementation. So you do dot interface, yes. So you do const I'm gonna call it just W, and it's gonna be. I think you need to grab a pointer from it, don't you? Ampersand file writer interface, and now you have your thing. So now you have your W, and that's the guy that has print. Now you have print, and all the other variants. I think they're like does it have write all? It has write all. So, and this is the write all that behaves as you would expect. It makes sure to write everything inside bytes. Okay, so maybe a little bit of a mouthful, and don't forget to flush it. Oh yeah, for writers, you have to flush it. Unless your buffer is empty, you have to flush it. So, you know, you do w.print foo, and then you do w.flush. There is no automatic flushing, or rather, if you fill the buffer, then obviously the writer will internally flush everything, and then the new stuff that you give to it puts it in a now empty buffer. But like the final flush is mandatory. You can't not do it. Also, these things need try. So you have to flush it. That is necessary for correctness. File is not marked pub. Are you joking? Wait. What? That seems wrong. What happened? Why can't I do stdio.file? That actually did work a little bit earlier. I guess you do stdfs. No, it used to be std.io, right? But now it's uppercase io. So is it just io.std out? Oh, wait a second. No, I know what's going on. Which is also a thing that I needed to fix. I'm gonna open a new tab, and I'm gonna do this hx zls env. I need to modify my config because I'm using the wrong version of Zig with ZLS. It was necessary at some point, but now it's wrong. What? There we go. So we want this to just be Zig now. Okay. Now ZLS should be using now it's using the right stdlib. But stdio file is still not pub. How does that work? Here's a file. Oh, that's why. Look at this. It was moved back to FS. Okay, so this stuff, by the way, sorry, it's shifting around because the everything is still in progress. Also, this guy wants IO as the first argument, doesn't it? FNT. No, what am I talking about? It just wants this. It doesn't want IO. Never mind. So that's how it is. Okay. SCDFS file. Wait, is there no SCD out here? No, you need to go inside file. Oh, well. Okay, now this is the explanation then. But is... Okay, so this is the new... So previously we had io.file. Now it has taken over fs.file. Now it was moved there. Okay. Okay. Well, hopefully this gives you a general idea. Then obviously you will need to adapt to whichever version of Zig you have. So let's address other problems in here. Buffering equals fixed. Oh yeah, there's a lot of logic now that we need to double check. So let's go like step by step. So sends a command to Redis and tries to parse the response as the specified type. So you send client content type, command any type, and then returns either an error or type. Send alloc, same thing, but it can also allocate memory. Trans performs a Redis multi-exec transaction using pipelining. It's mostly provided for convenience, as the same result can be achieved by making explicit use of pipe and pipe alloc. Yeah, this is basically pipe alloc, but well, or pipe whatever. But this just adds the transaction framing around it. Let's see, transaction implementation. Yeah, and it calls multi-exec. To do, this is not thread safe. Huh. Yeah, we'll need to look into this stuff, huh? Okay, in any case, so this calls pipe. And then pipe sends a group of commands more efficiently than sending them one by one. Yes, indeed. Pipe alloc, same thing. Pipeline implementation. This is where all the business logic like flew into, because all the other commands are basically implemented as specific invocations of this bad boy. So we have a type. We have the commands that are any type. Yes. Then we have the allocator any type. Okay. Right, there's the old locking stuff, which we don't have anymore. We need to worry about locking again. It's not just that the past had to worry about locking. Like, this new stuff is not aware of locking at all. Let's see what we do. We add a block to release the write lock before we start reading from the read stream. Why do we have two locks? Let me think about it. We have two locks because a client could be holding a lock, a read lock, waiting to read a reply, but that shouldn't stop us from being able to write to the socket. We should be able to write to the socket even though the reader is, in a sense, behind. This obviously can cause trouble if they get too much out of sync, but I guess that's not something we should worry about right now. So let's see, serialize all the commands. If type of allocator has a field called 1, what? Then we call serialize command. Otherwise, of course, it's an any type. Oh, because it's generic on whether we have or we don't have an allocator. That makes sense, man. Too clever for my own pants, huh? Okay, so the idea is we have an allocator. If we do, then we call serialize command. If we don't have an allocator, actually, I don't know what the one case does. Let me check that. Where's the definition of this type? Oh, right, it's an any type. Well, it's not defined anywhere. It's not really a type, is it? So it's .ptr. dot ptr. It's either ptr or empty. This is also bad. Oh no, this is also bad because these guys, they're not like the same thing. Oh no, I'm not sure this is good. Well, but why is it one? Shouldn't it be PTR? But also I'm not using the allocator at all. So I'm not sure what this check is trying to achieve. But in any case, we serialize the command, and then if buffering is fixed and it's async, then we have the lock unlock stuff. Okay, we're gonna look back into that again. Now the one stuff. If it has one and it has PTR. Oh, I think I get it. This allocator is not like just allocator. This is also, it's more like options than allocator. I think I'm renaming these to options. Alice OPTS. Gabix78. Hello, I'm writing this from a terminal. Nice. Hello. Where do we set one though? Let's double check. There we go. Here we set one. So we set one when we're sending one command versus many. And let's see, because we have serialized command and then we have, right, serialize multiple commands. Okay, so I get what's going on. I understand now what's happening here. Man, so much metaprogramming. Then, if buffering is fixed. Okay. Okay, we're sending one command. We have an allocator we call resp3 parse alloc. We don't have an allocator we call parse. We have more than one command, so now we need a result type. Right. How does this stuff work? Because I think I remember vaguely. Let's just maybe client pipelining. Yeah, you're supposed to pass a struct with names, and then you get the same name here inside reply. So that's what this metaprogramming is doing. Okay. So we parse, we pass in the reader. I think this part doesn't need changing unless we decide that at some point to change the interface, which I'm not going to do now. So this stuff seems fine, except the fact that we don't have this buffering thing and we don't have is SEO.async. So I'm gonna just delete this entire thing. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna comment it out and say to do locking. I'm gonna comment it out in case that there is something in the code that you know, is smart and that we should uphold in the new implementation. By the way, I'm not cleaning everything up because I want to first have this whole thing work, and there's more edits that we need to do to make this work. So also there's a bunch of any types that we're gonna need to change. Maybe not as many, I don't know. Root serializer type. Serialize, yeah, no, none of the commands. The commands are fine. So skip all commands. Yeah, let's look at client. Yeah, there we go. We need to look into parser. Let's start with parser.zig. So this is the root parser. Come again. MSG is a reader. Who designed this? I did. Are you joking? Did I really call the reader message? I call the reader message? That was a long time ago. That's my that's my only excuse. What the heck? Um what the heck? Any error also. Yummy, any error. Yummy, yummy. Okay. So let's see. Well, let's go through all of parser and let's do the same. I'm gonna use the brutal find everything and replace. I'm not gonna use the semantic rename from ZLS because it's too many functions and I would need to change to do it too many times. So this way I have to do it only once per file. And my expectation is that I did not put any weird MSG name inside of it, although can't promise that, so we'll see. Yeah, and now I want to find all instances of R on anytime append reader. Oops. What? Why did it get fucked up? Wait, let me try again. Oh, I guess that's how it should be. There we go. Okay, that's better worse. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, it needs to be a pointer to reader. You're right. I also had multiple cursors open. That's also why my muscle memory was going for a pointer. I couldn't explain why, but I was going for that, and yeah, now I know why. Hey, Broccoli and Rare, thank you. Thank you for the Prime sub. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay. What's the error? What's the problem, man? FBS Big Num Reader. Oh, I guess these like the Big Num stuff has changed. Um or you know what? We'll fix this stuff when the time comes. We'll fix the stuff when the time comes. Okay, getting there. Okay. I think we're almost there. Uh-uh. Okay. Now we need to fix some more errors, I think. Well, I mean, for sure, but let's see, what should we fix next? Well, I guess starting from the parser is not a bad idea because this guy is the one that will contain most errors. So let's go fix this. So here we're passing R. underscore error dot reader. And that's a fixed buffer stream. Is this stuff still alive? Does it still exist? And it gives you a fixed buffer stream. What's your reader, good sir? Oh no, it's still generic reader. So this guy has not been updated at all. So I guess we need to see what's under io.reader, because now this stuff is provided by io.reader. Oh, there we go, that fixed. Thank you. Then you pass in a buffer. There we go. Okay, that was easier than expected. Problem is, can you do just dot reader? Is it dot interface? Let's go find out. So that gives you a reader of some kind. Oh, that gives you immediately an IO reader. Let's fucking go. So we want to change this to this. Those read by calls suck. Okay. Let's fix the calls to read byte once. Do we have read byte? And then maybe we can fix all of them, I guess. Is it take byte? Yeah, it's take byte. Okay, so we can do this. Hello, Regalius. Oops, we don't need parentheses. Okay, so this hopefully is better now. What are the other errors? Excetter pointer to the reader found. Oh, sweet. Right. Oh, I did it already. Okay, is this any better? It seems that the stuff down here is now better. Now we have other problems up here, which they all have to do with fixed buffer streams. Make float map. Make map. I guess now it's just an IO reader. Just a reader. Wait, map. Okay. Hmm. Okay, next problem. All right, there's gonna be still a few. This becomes that, that, and then let's just go with R for reader. Hmm. Here we go. We maintain some of the old semantics. We just updated to the new stuff. Um, evil indirection. Okay. Oh shit. It's only used once. Okay. Okay, next problem. Are the read byte? Yeah. There is no position. Right. I was resetting this reader. Now where is it? Seek? Yeah. Okay, let's do it like this. FBF map. Reader map. 10%. str.reset. Oh, here I was using something that doesn't exist in reader anymore is there. So I was using a function to reset it. I don't know. Yeah, maybe this guy has it, but who cares? We just want seek to be 0. No, there's also FBR store too. There we go. Also, I'm using a heap page allocator in this test. That's certainly a choice to be made. That is indeed a choice to be made. Or rather, that was made. There we go. Should have done this earlier. Okay, fix a bunch of sick now. Next problem. Read one float. Ampersand. Read two float. Okay. So this file is now good. Woo! What an adventure. And this is just parser. Now there's void that we need to fix. Okay, so skip bytes. I think it's, was it drop bytes? Discard bytes? Just discard? Discard limit usize. No, I want like, wait a second. No. I want something more than that. Wait, are you serious? Wait a second. Where's discard exact? Toss. Skips next and bites from the stream, advancing the sick position. This is typically and safely used after a peak. Asserts that the number of bytes buffered is at least as many as n. The toss memory remains alive until a peak operation occurs. Interesting. But in our case, is it toss that we want to do here? No, but also we want to... Well, I mean, we're tossing what? Like, not that many bytes. So maybe it works. Toss buffered. Discard all. There we go. I'm going to use that also somewhere else. So yeah, update all of these uses. Then what is it? Read byte, right. Oops. Take byte. Okay, next problem. What do you not like about this? Oh, what was the other argument in the past? I have no idea. Okay, second file done. Is the new async plan to be released on 0.15? No, the new reader writer interfaces will be, but the new, like the whole new IO stuff requires more work because it's about, you know, adding all the IO async stuff, event loop implementations, updating the cryptography stuff, JSON parsing, because we have a streaming JSON parser, the HTTP server, you know, there's a bunch of stuff. So that will probably not be in 0.15 because 0.15 is due very soon. Wait, no errors in here at all? Are you serious? I mean, I'll take it. Honestly, not complaining. You know what? Maybe that's an opportunity to just avoid going overboard with code. Like if I see something that goes, yeah, pass, I'm gonna just put it on multiple lines. Why did I not care about this stuff? I don't know. I guess at the time I did not care. Now I care about it more. Ba, 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 ba. Okay. Okay. So set has an error, which is oof. It's this. Okay, this file is happy. Next file, at least for now. We'll see later on. Oh, we have truer, falser. Nice. Right. I think I'm noticing that I'm not resetting anything in here. That is mighty sus. Mighty sus. That is indeed mighty sus. Okay, so this file is done. List. Oh, I think these guys are gonna be more intense now. Okay, I expected worse. So far, so good. To do, get rid of this. How, dude? I don't know. cryptic messages left by past self. Ooh, this is gonna be interesting. So read until the limiter unlock. Haha, what's that? Now. So the question is, Redis can give us big numbers. And here, basically, I'm trying to parse a big num, and I do that by allocating a copy of a big number. Yes. And then I give it to, yeah, the heck do I do with it? If, oh, okay, so if the requested type is a string, then I give back a string. What if somebody requires a const u8? This is not gonna work. It should also work. Otherwise, I assume that somebody is using SED math big int. Why am I not checking for that? And then int. Also, it's lowercase. There's a mutable. Oof. Okay, so this stuff hasn't really been supported really well. Okay, so we need to decide what to do with this. So yeah, let's go with the assumption that we're going to return a string. So we need to do a copy. We 100% need to do a copy. I don't know. Let's see what the reader has for us. We have stream. We have alloc stuff. Alloc sounds delightful. Alloc remaining though. No. Pen remaining. Read back. Peak greedy. We want something like until delimiter of some kind. We don't want peak nor take. We have stream delimiter. Maybe stream delimiter is what we're gonna need to use. Stream delimiter ending, stream delimiter limit, discard delimiter inclusive, discard delimiter exclusive. Feel more, pick byte, take byte. Take, expand, fill, unlock. Rebase, restitute. Fix stream, discard, default discard. Okay, so we're back to the beginning. So we want stream delimiter. Stream delimiter is our guy. Yep. Okay, so this is what we want to use. Is it good practice to have a file that you call all the Z libraries that you want to use and import them into your main program? Not really. Like you shouldn't. There's no reason for you to have like one file with imports and then you always import that file. It's a lot of interaction. Just import at the top precisely what you need, and if you do at import, foo multiple times, it's fine. It's not gonna duplicate anything. So just use imports normally. But if you meant something different, then just explain yourself, and maybe I'll be able to help you. In the meantime, I'm gonna take a very quick break. I'll be right back. I'm back. Sorry for the wait. Uh, 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 uh. So this is a stream delimiter. Problem is, it doesn't want an allocator. It wants a writer, and then the delimiter, and then there's no upper limit. So we do guess ampersand W. What's W? SCD IO writer fixed. Well, no, we don't want a fixed writer. We want an allocating writer. Let's see, to clarify, in the standard library, there are a lot of modules. If you have a file with all the modules you want to import, you want to import that into your main program. Sure. I mean, if it works, you can do it. That is, but if your question is like, is this something that people normally do? I don't think so. Like, assuming that your point is that you make yourself, like you make one file that just has like pub const foo equals std dot foo, and then pub const bar, or whatever it is that you want to grab from std, you put it here. And obviously I understand that the point would be that you have like std dot I don't know, io dot something dot foo, and then you have fs something else dot bar, and so like you're shortening this stuff. I'm assuming that that's also what you mean. And then you import this file everywhere. You can do it, sure, there's no trouble with that, but people usually don't do this, and if you ask me, it does not seem to me something that gives you a lot back. But up to preference. If that's what you want, you can totally do it. Oh, is it lowercase and then it's a function? No, it was uppercase. Man, I just forgot how this guy works. Oh, it does have init. Why am I not getting suggested init? Allocator. There we go. So we write into this guy, and then we air defer, but only down here. Well, I guess in the previous implementation that was fine, but now this is different. So no, you know what? Maybe this is fine, but here we need defer. Well, air defer w dot the init. Although we could return to own slice. So now stream delimiter, yeah, wait, now stream delimiter does not return what we write. Stream delimiter ending, stream delimiter limit. Stream delimiter, but we don't care about what it returns. Okay, so we can do this. Discard how much it gave us, and then we do we return w.to owned slice. Perfect. And down here, yeah, it's not entirely clear what we should be doing. There we go. Okay, that part seems fine. Oh, this is why it was not working up here, because I had to do this. Right. So this is the writer interface. What? Writer? Oh yeah. Skip bytes needs to become discard all. Seems to be try. Okay. So this is now fine. So we continue down the path of looking at parser. We're at big num. Double parser. Double parser is fine, I guess, because it concerns itself mostly with... no, it's not fucking fine. Why is it not erroring out? I guess there are some code paths that are not being stressed out, and that's why we're not erroring out. But yeah, there's definitely wrong stuff in here. So, for example, look at this read byte. Take byte, first and foremost. And then let's take a look at this, what's happening here. So to do write real implementation, yeah, well, maybe it's time we do this now. So I keep reading a single byte, and then when I find a carriage return, I stop because we got the end, and then I buffered the double number inside this buffer, and then I called parse float on it. This was the old code, which I knew was suboptimal because obviously you would like to have... I was thinking a streaming parser, but no, you don't even need a streaming parser. What we want is we want to take delimiter. We want a temporary buffer, temporary pointer into our buffer, and that is what we give to parse float. So this whole thing can be simplified significantly. So this can become var, well, not even var, const bytes is reader dot take delimiter. Take array, take sentinel. Returns a slice of the next bytes of buffer data from the stream until sentinel. So we want to take sentinel. And the sentinel is going to be /r. Discard 1. Wait, is discard allowed? Is discard 1? Discard short. Unlike toss, which is fallible and can be any amount. Discard delimiter. Okay. Discard remaining, discard all. But maybe one toss, actually. Asserts that the number of buffer is at least as many as n. Yeah, in reality, we would be fine with toss, I guess, for these things. But fine. Let's go with digits. Let's see. I guess I was just thinking that if someone plans out there could control better what modules are included. Not sure if this would help the compiler better. In the case of Zig, it would make no difference. In other languages, what you described could make a difference, but in the case of Zig, you are guaranteed that none of what you don't use ends up in your final executable. How do you show the current function scope in Helix at the top? Always. It's a in progress PR on the Helix repository. and I just have a fork of Helix that has it already merged. It's called sticky context, I believe. So if you search for sticky context Helix, you will find the creator of this piece of functionality is Solalicious, who is, I believe, Sora Tenshi on GitHub. So, you know, if you search for sticky context Helix and then you see Sora Tenshi, you know you're on the right track. Okay, so we made this better. So we have digits, and now this guy can go away. Delightful. Like, just take Sentinel, discard all. You know what? Let's do it. Toss. Yeah, I'm gonna change this card all with toss probably for pretty much everything. Okay, so toss. Let's see. I think pretty much everything else could be good at this point. Let's go to number. Oh, guess what? Number has a similar problem, huh? Read bytes and then skip. Although in this case there's also the int branch. So okay, let's use this return down here. There we go. So this is fixed. And this is pretty much all there was in here. String blob. What do you know? I've already seen this pattern. What's happening here? We're doing parse int. So no this. Perfect. This is also going to be present in some other array stuff. This is so good, man. Like, this is so good. Wait, is the toss necessary? Yes, we skip a byte, so we keep it. Perfect. Try to parse an integer from the string, write real implementation. Sorry, bad implementation. We don't need to worry about that too. Sorry, anymore. Try reader read no EOF. And then parse int. String blob. Wait, what am I looking at? Parse. Redis blob string values. I don't remember how's let me take a look at a test so I can see what a Redis blob string looks like. Yeah, it's dollar number of thingies. So length of what's coming, new line, the thing, and then new line. But there's also numbers and integers. Oh, I get it. I get it. Like the Redis reply type is a string regardless, but the user might have requested to parse this as a number. So basically, want to do this again. Although we want to do this again, although we know how much, we want take and then size. We did all this work to get the size. Might as well use it. Okay. Same applies down here. Oh, also toss is non-fallible. You don't try toss, you just toss. I forgot. That's another thing that we're gonna need to fix afterwards. Okay, parse the digits, return your, it's an array of elements. Okay. Byte slice is mem slice as bytes res 0 dot dot. An array of anything. Oh, we just YOLO it? If lengths don't agree, then we do length mismatch. Otherwise, and then we do read no EOF inside here. So that would be um res. Well, we don't need to define res in here, I guess. I think this should be so. Oh, well, wait, there's some stuff in here that we do want. Array.len. Okay, so if... Oh, but array.len is not this. Right. Okay, so that's fine. So we do res and copy. Destination res. Source. Source is going to be reader dot take and then a number. But but in this case, it would make sense for this to be more than just what we have in memory. So it makes sense for this to be bigger than our buffer in memory. So in the previous two cases, we should assume that it should fit. But in this case, it's not necessary. Like I wouldn't say it's guaranteed. So we're gonna stream basically into it. So is there a stream all? Okay, let's go figure out what we can use from reader. So there's stream. It has a limit. It also has a number. Discard, default discard, stream remaining. No, discard remaining, unlock remaining, pen remaining, read back limit, buffered, blah, 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 blah. Pick greedy, toss, take array. Huh. Pick array. Discard all. No, discard short. Oh, there we go. Read slice all. That's what we want. That's a try. And then we toss 2 bytes. Okay. Now we need to fix tests, huh? All right, we return a reader without pointer in this case. There we go. Although we could return immediately a pointer, but in this case, but whatever. To do what is this project? It's a Redis client. I don't know if I answered this already, but if I haven't, it is a Redis client. Hmm. Well, it doesn't save means that I broke some syntax. What did I do? Oh, did I eat one parenthesis in here? I think I have, yeah. Okay, what's the next problem? Digits. What's your problem with digits? Expected type conjugate found error end of stream or read file or stream too long. Yeah, to be fair, this needs to be tried. Yeah, and same here. Hmm. Okay. Oh no. Next problems. What is this? Expected type you ate. Oh, because it's byte slice. Yeah. Oh no. What's the problem? Oh. Toss read no EOF. Okay, what's happening here? What is this madness? Blob string parser. I think this is the allocating case, and we've been given a pointer. Oh no. Right. This whole thing is a mess. So digits equal reader dot take sentinel slash r try remove this thing because now we have a real implementation. Now we have the size. This is stuff that gives me length mismatch when wrong. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Great protocol error. I'll say catch unreachable. Then although wait, am I trying a read? Wait. No, that's definitely not catch unreachable. What is this old code base, man? So much insanity in it. So read slice all. Fuck is grave protocol error. Okay. So this file should be good, at least for now. And then one last round reading strings. Also map has this stuff in it. Did I fix the map code? No, I left this garbage in here. Oh, the map code has not been touched pretty much at all. Okay, so we're gonna return to map. Take Sentinel. Toss 1. We not want to do that in other cases? Man, we do this in any case, so just do it outside the switch once. If it's int, it's a parse int. If it's a float, it's a parse float. If it's an array, it's more complicated, and that's fair. Yeah. This is weird. If ch equals. Wait, why were we doing this? Oh, shit. The last one does not have that case. Never mind. This one is more complicated. Okay, let's see what's happening in here. We read a single byte. If the channel is a new line, we say length mismatch. Otherwise, we assign the byte and we read the next one. And then complain about this. Okay, let me think about it for a moment. So there's a Redis string. And if we read it as an array of bytes, then this is fine. I would say that for a simple string, if child is different than something, no, but we don't choose the parser. The protocol chooses the parser. Haha. I guess we can keep it as is. Take byte, take byte. Toss 1 byte. I guess. And so, no, we don't do this unconditionally. We were saying we do need this. Okay. Let's look at map. Okay. This should be probably almost all of it more high level. Maybe even all of it is high level. Yeah, okay, it doesn't seem that we need to touch anything. Okay, try to run it. It's been a while since we tried to run it, so let's do that. Also, let's do watch. We can get live updates. So in verbatim, we have a problem. And that is because we have MSG. Expected buffer. Your reader found something else. Okay, so MSG becomes R. Becomes a reader. Critical thinker. Hi, Loris. Hello. I have another trivial question regarding security. What compile time railguards does Zig have compared to the ownership model, or is it fuzzing the future, or is fuzzing the future? I'll start by your last question. I think that even if you have Rust, or you have a language that is for some reason even more memory safe than Rust. So imagine a Rust without unsafe, which is problematic in too many ways. Don't think it's going to happen. But let's say that you have that. You would still want to fuzz your code. Fuzzing is just that good because, sure, fuzzing is also good for catching memory errors, but also when you write a parser, if the file format is complicated enough, it is pretty much guaranteed that you're gonna mess something up and you're gonna miss some corner case, which will lead to maybe crashes because you will somewhere, use one of those operators. I think in Rust it's called unwrap, like one of those operators that assert that something that could be null is actually there, something that could be an error is actually not an error, that kind of stuff, because you bake in these assumptions. On top of that, you might not get a crash, you might just get bad behavior. So fuzzing is the future regardless of anything else. That said, what compile time railguards does Zig have compared to the ownership model? Well. There's no ownership model in Zig embedded into the language. Your ownership model is defined by you, the programmer, and you are expected to design a variety of different ownership models. Sorry, I should say memory management models. So you're expected to use arenas, you're expected to transfer ownership of the things, but not in a way that is embedded in the language, in a way that is defined by you. So you define that at some point something happens, and so this component should take charge of cleaning up these resources, which could be memory or could be, any other resource. As for compile time, there's less UB. Sorry, I should say IB, illegal behavior. There's less illegal behavior. So I believe that certain things get caught. Is it IB free completely? I'm not sure. I think it might not be today. But there's definitely plans to try and reduce the amount of illegal behavior, more specifically unchecked illegal behavior everywhere. So the idea is to have the compiler be able to check reliably more and more cases where you're misusing something. That said, we're not there today. For example, today, if you return a pointer from a local function value, like a value that exists in the frame memory of this function, then you can do it. Nobody will stop you. Valgrind will immediately catch that you're doing something dumb, but it will work. But the language won't stop you right away. That said, since you mentioned comp time, if you do this, I don't know, my thing equals, imagine that it's some kind of struct, right? Like name equals who, that kind of stuff. And you do return my thing. And let's say you return here a pointer to thing. At runtime, this is wrong because a runtime value will live inside this function definition. But since these since this is a constant value, and especially if you call this function a comp time, especially, but not strictly then, this is actually correct because this value gets interned. It gets copied into the read-only data section of your executable, and then returning pointers to it is actually correct. Although I should say this needs to be a constant pointer since this guy is const. And read-only memory, it's read-only for a reason. So my point is that runtime illegal behavior is not the same as compile time illegal behavior, and you will always be able to do more stuff at compile time than runtime. So you should expect compile time to be relatively safe going forward. Rust actually has one of the bugs related to lifetimes, which has been known for several years now. It basically allows you to change the lifetime from a shorter one to a longer one, and without using any line of unsafe calls. This is how vtables are defined. Some vtables are hard-coded. Vtables for things that don't need to be runtimey can be defined in this style, yes. But vtables for runtimey stuff, they will need to be instantiated at runtime. So for example, the vtable for the SMP allocator is like this, but the vtable for general purpose allocator is not. Or sorry, you'll say like Arena, for example. GPA, I'm not sure, but Arena for sure. It has to be generated on runtime. In any case, yeah, don't expect perfect safety from Zig right away. It's gonna be Zig does not have the same approach as Rust, where it's designed to have a complete start to finish box where everything is safe inside or as close as possible. Zig is designed to basically give you practical tools to protect yourself, but it's a different philosophy, with its own pros and cons. No, wait a second. What is going on here? This is another one of those read by thingies. I think we need to think about what's happening here and adapt it in a nice way. So parse cannot be called. Verbatim requires an allocator. Use parse alloc. Okay. Then verbatim format, blah, blah, blah. To do write real implementation, what is an equal sign? I do not remember what the equal sign is. We are going through bytes one at a time. We're again parsing a size. Okay, so we know that we want to parse a size here. R dot take sentinel /r. We need to try this. And toss 1. Then we have size, which can be const. Why is this size mutable? Why am I planning to mutate? Holy shit, I am planning to mutate that size. There was a reason. Okay, mutable size it is. Let's see. We must consider the case in which a malformed verbatim string is received. By the protocol standard, a verbatim string must start with a 3-letter type prefix. But since modules will be able to produce this kind of data, we should protect ourselves from potential errors. Yeah. So we take the first 3 ones. Well, we can turn this into a r dot take array of size 3. And we try. And it gives us a pointer, so we do dot star. Skip the colon character. subtract what we consumed. Well, we should instead, I don't think we should drop this. I think maybe we should check. Okay, let's do toss, is fine. Okay. Then what happens? Then now we know the length of everything. And so we allocate the right amount, we read into it, and then we toss. Okay, so r.toss to, that's this guy, and then we want to do try r.read slice all press, and this is this. And that can be const, yes. And then that's what we return. Okay. Solved. Next problem. Reply.zig. Oh, that sounds like something that has a ton of stuff in it, huh? Jesus. Data 2, list data, big num 2. What's the problem? Not field of member, I'm guessing 2 inside managed. Then how do you get a normal number out of it? Commutable to const. Len. Clone. Copy, swap, dump, negate. Absolute is even. Please. To int. There we go. Okay, so what's the next problem? Expected found generic reader. Oh, this is part of our test. Yeah, it has to do with this. Okay. Okay, let's rename MSG to something better. So wait, so this is now a reader. And then this is just now R. Oh, right. It's a pointer to reader, of course. Okay. Next. Pix buff. Right. Good old fix buff. Good old fix buff, huh? Oh, look at this guy. Parsing a length. How cute. Let's fix it. There's no R. Oh, because it's still MSG. God damn it. There we go. Okay, so this file is also happy. Holy shit. We ran tests and we got 36 errors. I'm not sure how I feel about that. So here's the problem. 36 errors is not a lot of errors. It's not everything erroring out, but it is a bunch of stuff erroring out. And erroring stuff out at runtime means that we probably, it's not guaranteed, but we probably messed something up in the protocol. We changed, like in the parser code, basically we changed the semantics of the parser in well, bad ways, potentially. Let's do run test. Sorry, run example. So that doesn't build. It's triggering stuff in well, a bunch of places. Serializer, parser. Oh, there's a thing with either reader attributes. Attributes. The fact that this this is not caused a build error, like errors to fail to build, Uh, kind of means that we're failing to wear some tests. For example, why was attribute not complaining? So attributes is under types. So let's look at types.zig. Does it have attributes in here? It does have attributes in here. So then that brings us to root. And we do have types. So wait, did I miss something? Oh no, there were more compile errors. Okay, for some reason I thought that we got to compiling. Well, and that was worrying. Okay, no. These are still build errors. Got confused. So let's go fix this stuff. Parser 33. What is happening? 32 errors? Oh god. Okay. Uh Readers are readers. There's not any typing here, so this is good. Okay, I guess we need to continue. 23 errors now. Expected type by other reader attributes. Oh, we were in attributes and we didn't fix it in the end. Let's go fix it. Okay, 23 errors. Next, serializer. I suspect that these 23 errors will hide more errors. Net stream writer struct 593. It doesn't have print. Yeah, that is fair indeed, but and also we write to it, so it's not a reader, it's a writer. And then it's also a writer like this. Pointer 2. Okay. So let's see what that has caused. 57 hours. Yeah, this has caused a cascade of failures. Client is not marked pub in root. Yes. String simple has, oh, there's still some read until the limiter bullshit, huh? Yeah. Okay, we want a slice. We actually provide a slice. So we have a reader, we have an allocator. There's two types that are given to us. One is the root parser, I guess. But one is the return type and one is the root parser that we don't use, right? We don't use the root parser, fine. We have a return type to respect. We figure out that they want us to return a slice that we need to allocate. Okay, so this is a var w is std.io.writer.allocating equals .init. I forgot that I need the column allocator. There we go. Until the delimiter unlock. So this is going to be stream delimiter. This delimiter, nothing else. So this is bytes. Right, we need a writer. Div exact. Type view size does not support. Right. Wait, does this returns stuff? Right, but we don't need it. So underscore equals, and then we do wait, what are we even doing here? We're doing div exact. I'm not sure I understand what's happening in here, but okay. So we get bytes from it, and then we do this. And then we toss. Okay. I'm not sure I understand what's going on there, but I should have re-implemented what we were doing originally. Problem is bytes.len. All right, because we need to try this. Parser tset. What am I doing? Take byte. Okay, 3 bytes is a toss now. Okay. We don't try toss. Oh, P number has a try toss. Yeah. It makes it go insane. This we need to try. Okay. String simple has a ton of errors. Same problem as before. We forgot to try. Okay. Map. Same problem. Serializer? Or is that a node? No, that's a node. Let's look at the errors below. Double. Okay. Next error, expected consider it, found something else. String simple. Same problem. Try. Expected writer found something else. Set bit. This probably has to do with tests, doesn't it? Yeah. So how do we do this? It's a fixed buffer stream that we write to. So that's an IO writer dot fixed. right? Yeah. And then there's no reset. Well, how do you reset that, writer? Mm, yeah, how do you reset these bad boys? Oh well, I guess it's and that reset to 0. Right. Well, we also want to do this. Although, is it a writer? Oh, it's already one. Right. No function get written in io.writer. Oh, it's buffered. Okay. Man, all these tests that need to be ported. That is so annoying. Actually, no, that's fine. You know what? Maybe I'm gonna need some more fancy behavior. Huh. What is the difference between unreachable and com time unreachable inside an else prong? Did I have that? Did you see this in my code? I do, don't I? I don't think it does anything good. I'm gonna take it out. But well, I turns out I actually had that. I don't think it does nothing, honestly. Because unreachable is not something that you need to compute to get a comp time result. It's already, itself in a sense. So if the context surrounding it is comp time, then that gets evaluated. It's comp time, then that gets evaluated at unreachable regardless. So shouldn't do anything. It should be, I think it should be turned into a compile error because it doesn't do anything good. Inker by float. Oh man, all these commands I have tested. Let me try to run zig build run example. I want to run the example and see how far we get with that, because these commands all need to be updated, that's for sure, but the example doesn't use them. So I would like to see the example like reach working condition before I do the rest of these other chores. Except that the other writer found something else in Inker by float. God damn it! What? Why are you doing this? Run exe example, compile exe example, install run test docs example. What is going on? There's something fishy with our build.zig. Why are we doing all this other work? Run example depend on get install step. Run artifact. Run example B depend on get install step. Why? No. Okay, there we go. We're starting to get like the real errors. So client is okay, Redis.client. Client is not marked pub. Client is not marked pub. Correct. Then client.init. Oh, I need to do this because this can fail. Let's see what's the next problem. Except that the other writer found something else. Command serializer. Oh, we're using a command, are we not? Right. Oh man, we have so many examples in here. Oh man, I started to remember how much stuff I was doing in this example. I was really testing a ton of stuff. Or rather, showcasing a ton of stuff, including some fancy command builder somewhere, I think. Is this what we're doing? 173, client 173. Oh, yeah. It's interface, right? Is it like this? Stream.reader struct. Is it a function? Okay, I feel like I'm going insane. Yeah. And then what do you do? Use interface for protocol code. Okay, so this is the reader. The reader has a function, the writer doesn't have a function. Okay. Oh man. So the function is actually correct. And then here we do this. No, sorry, was it interface? But function. Hmm. Okay, we have a skip bytes in error. Okay, let's fix error. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Oh man, there's so much stuff in here that we need to do. Okay, so take two. Sorry, I'm not taking two. I'm tossing two. Toss two. Then also, what is self in here? Oh, it's a generic. That's fine. Okay, so yeah, parse int. Okay. R dot take sentinel slash R. We need to try this. And we toss one. And these are digits. Toss two. Take byte. Oof, there's a ton of these guys, huh? Okay, so we did all of them. Remainder. This is discard all. seek through the rest of the message, discarding it. Yeah, that's try r.discard sentinel. No, they're like inclusive. Right? No, god damn it. I don't remember what can readers do. Discard remaining, discard all, discard short, discard delimiter inclusive, discard delimiter exclusive. There we go. So what do we do with the delimiter? Here we're, while it's different. So this is inclusive. Okay. Pause 2. Take sentinel /n. Is it even called R? No, it's called MSG. God damn it. Oh, so wait, take sentinel is /R. And we toss 1. Yeah, okay, I didn't mess it up. Okay, so what were we doing here? Skip byte. Toss 2. Take byte. Read no EOF. Try r.read slice all slice. Toss 1 and then see through the rest of the message, discarding it. Read until the limiter unlock. Why is this comment talking about discarding stuff when we're reading unlock? So we're in, so that's a copy paste, horrible copy paste error. Toss 1. So this is kind of it, but not quite. So we have an allocator. So we do const var w equals actually std io writer allocating init allocator, and then we do try r dot stream delimiter to w writer delimiter /r. That's it. Yeah, and then we do rest.r equal dot message equals w dot to own Order for the init. This guy goes away. We should be doing everything. We don't care about how much we read. Right. Okay. Or the toss one. I'm surprised that this one is non-fallible. Oh, because it expects you to have done peak. Oh, shit. Right. No, so toss is not what we want. Because we haven't peaked. Yeah, we need this card. Even in these cases, we need this card. Never mind. Because we definitely did not peak forward, so discard all. Whoops. All our usages of toss are wrong, so we're gonna need to fix those. And here we're actually discarding stuff. Value of type usizing in order, yeah. Okay. What's the problem now? Oh no, these tests. Those are the problem now, huh? Do 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 do. Reader dot fixed. Okay. Okay. Oops. There we go. So Bob 2 is happy. Error emoji 2 is happy. So many tests. So many tests. Okay. Oh, but there was already an error. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we fixed all of that. Expected IODO reader found pointer to IODO reader. Parse look. Wait, what is this? Parser.zig. Expected type IODO reader found pointer to IODO reader. There's a sneaky type that has a bad parse unlock. Is it you? No. You. It's you. Oh, there we go. So we ran and we got connection refused. Because we don't have a running Redis. Let's get one. Redis server. I don't have any. Reinstall Redis. Now watch Brew update everything on my computer because I wanted a new Redis. And I'm getting a portable Ruby, apparently. What is going on? A bunch of stuff. Redis server. Okay, we got a Redis server. Oh shit. We deadlock. We got stuck. So we got stuck while running. Oh, there's a couple of reasons why. Well, the main one is they probably messed something up. But there's one last thing to keep in mind. We need to flash our writer because now it's buffered always, and we always need to flash it. Do we flash it in client? So in pipeline implementation, every time we serialize, so serialize command should not flash because we don't know if we are asking it to send just one command or many. So we need to be the ones to flash in here. And also, by the way, this needs to happen right away. Let me think about it. No, send shouldn't, send should flash. Send unlock also should flash. Of course, I mean, I think this also gets the result, so never mind. In any case, it's two way up. So here we need to flash. And here we should flash after all the commands. Or you know what? We could also put it here. There we go. We flash after all of that. Now here we parse. There's no flashing required. Does that make things better? It does not. Uh-oh. Well, here's what we can do. We can start a localhost netcat. So Redis port 6379. Connect to it. Connection refused. I mean, it should be the same way. Shouldn't it work? 6379. What did I get wrong? I'm failing to connect, but I don't know why. Example. Yeah, 6379. Shouldn't I be able to connect to this bad boy? 6379. No. Sudo. Is this a sudo moment? It's not. What's going on? I'm failing. I'm messing up the invocation of netcat. How is this supposed to help, dude? Like, how is this supposed to fucking help? Man, NC, is that what I'm supposed to do? Listen for an incoming connection. I don't know what UK does, so maybe take those out. Oh, there we go. Oh, that works. Okay. There we go. We got something. We got hello 3. Reply with a bad message. Client. I poop itself with a panic, which shouldn't do, but fine. Okay, so we are doing something. I wonder what it is that we're not really making any progress with this stuff. This needs debugging. So you know what? Maybe this can be an activity for tomorrow. I think it's time for me to call it a day. It's dinner time, so I'm gonna have dinner. Maybe make some progress on my own later tonight, or otherwise it's gonna be tomorrow. So it's been lots of fun, huh? Not. It hasn't been fun, but yeah. But now this client is moving towards the present because now it's about to support WriterGate, and it's going to support a new IO stack once that's ready. So that's going to be exciting. So thank you all for hanging out. Hope you had a good time, and I guess I'll see you next time. So see you all. Bye bye. Actually, let me see if there's anybody to raid. Is this raiding time? I don't see any stream announcements. Let's double check. Search tags. Zig. Oh, there's actually 2 streams with Zig tags, huh? And this is totally Zig. Let's go. Let's raid. Yeah, I'm gonna fix the camera for tomorrow.